Welcome back to the Tigers Den Podcast, guys. Before we get started, you know what we got to do. Smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're brand new. And hit those links down in my description. Follow your boy on Twitter, IG, and Facebook at Big C Got Game. Welp, for the third year in a row, the Bayou Classic wasn't even close. 70-7 was the final. Grambling State dominated from the start and kept their foot on the Jaguars' necks. Phil finished 13 of 24 for 191 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. PA2 played into the third quarter and did some downfield throwing that led to interceptions, but he needs to shake that turnover bug as we finish off the season. On the ground, Joe Thomas carried the rock 21 times for 134 yards and 3 scores. Phil Austin finished with 81 yards and a touchdown. And check out my man Jordan Paxson getting his first rushing touchdown of his career. Out wide, C. Tizzle led the way with 4 grabs for 42 yards and a touchdown. Gunn had 3 catches for 30 yards and a score. Sean Edwards caught 3 balls. So did Paxson and Bradford. On defense, Josh Carey had a day he will never forget. 9 tackles, 3 sacks, and 2 interceptions. 1 that turned into a pick 6. Josh put on a show, but the entire defense played out of their minds. Maynard had 3 sacks. Torian Ray had 2 sacks. Big Cam Richardson had 2 sacks. Hodges, Baker, West, Goff, and Stewart each had a sack apiece. The secondary had 5 interceptions, forcing 7 turnovers in all. Digging deeper into the stats, look at the total yards, 690 to 135. The Tigers finished 9 of 11 inside the red zone. It was just a dominating performance. So it's time to look at the top 10, and we have some movement. North Carolina is now the number 1 team in the nation. Oklahoma is now 2. Bama is up 2 spots to 3. Nebraska's 4. USC falls to 5 after losing to Stanford. Vatech is 6th. Minnesota in at 7. Kentucky in at 8. Wisconsin is 9. And Michigan rounds out your top 10. Grambling State is creeping back up the charts. Now they're sitting at 15. Big congratulations out to our captain, Josh Carey. He had another Defensive Player of the Week that he could add to his trophy case. 9 tackles, 3 sacks, 2 picks, 1 which he took back to the house. I would have to say that's Player of the Week material right there. Now it's time to hit the trail and check out recruiting, and we add another 5-star prospect to the Grambling State recruiting class. Kevin Easley is on his way. The North Carolina native is 5'11", 211 pounds. He could play running back or corner for the Tigers. Look for him to get time at both. His talent is just too good to keep off the field. So to the top of the board we go. It's a tight race for 4-star quarter Kenneth Johnson. Right now Tulane is his number 1 team, and he has GSU in at 4. It's a 3-team race for 4-star linebacker Brandon Ginn. He has GSU as his number 1 team, but Vatech and Toledo are close behind. It's also a tight race for D tackle Lionel Smith. The Texas native has GSU as his favorite, but Nebraska and Mizzou could make it interesting. He actually has a visit set up this week to Missouri when our Tigers come to town. 4-star safety Jason Dukes has narrowed down his list to 3 teams. Grambling State is 1, Vatech is 2nd, followed by New Mexico State. The race for D lineman Michael Anderson is heating up. Right now Grambling State is his number 1 team, but Kentucky is close behind. If he decides to come to Grambling, he would be moved to D tackle. The race is just getting started for guard Reggie Jenkins. The Kansas native has Grambling on his short list, and Ohio State is close behind. He will be on campus next week when we battle with Alabama. 5-star wideout Bobby Smith will be on campus next week versus Bama 2. The coaches are excited to have him on campus. He will battle for time his freshman year. The number 1 quarterback in the country, Matt Jones, has GSU as his number 1 team. As we talked about before, his athleticism is amazing, but the accuracy needs work. 3-star athlete Charles Jackson has GSU as his number 1 team. He has running back traits, but can also play in the secondary. His speed and return ability would be a nice addition to the G-Men. All right, guys, stay up to date with everything recruiting and Grambling State on Twitter, IG, and Facebook at Big C Got Game. We're getting close to the season, and it's week 12, and it's our last road game of the season. We're taking on Missouri. Mizzou comes in 3-6 on the year, 1-6 in the SEC. Missouri is led by senior QB Michael Wilson. He's thrown for 1,847 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. He has a strong arm and can run. The G-Men defense will have their hands full containing him. In the backfield is junior back Larry Roundtree. He's rushed for 624 yards and 7 scores, Behind him is his backup, Isaiah Miller. He's gained 360 and 2 scores. The run game seems mediocre, but Mizzou is dangerous out wide. Tight end Big Al, because I can't pronounce his last name, leads the team in catches with 50, and he's got 663 yards. Second on the team is Justin Brown with 42 grabs for 581 yards and 5 touchdowns. Honestly, I like how our secondary matches up with the Missouri wide receivers. On defense, outside linebacker Jerome Cook leads the team in tackles with 81. Right end Michael Williams leads the team in sacks with 5.5. This is a fast and aggressive group. Also, will have to stay focused and lead the offense to victory. And it looks like Herbie is rolling with Grambling State. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're brand new. And don't forget to hit those links down in my description. Follow your boy on Twitter, IG, and Facebook at Big C Gat Game. And we'll talk from Columbia, Missouri for our last road game of the season. Have a great day, guys. 2 fingers in the air. Peace.